What is going on, everybody? Today, we're going to be looking at the wide receivers for the New York Giants. Now, um, yeah, there's a lot to go over, man, and we have tons of talent on this wide receiver core. I'm talking front to bottom. I'm talking like top to bottom, man. It's crazy. The undrafted free agents we got are so impressive. Probably all of them could have been drafted, whether in the 6th or 7th round, possibly even the 5th round. But I'm telling you guys, there's so much wide receivers here that could have gotten drafted here, and even looking at receivers that are coming back that could make an impact. So, um, yeah, looking at Odell Beckham, he's coming back. He's going to be our number one guy, of course. Um, Not much to say there. Hope he has a great year, better than last year. So, moving on to Victor Cruz. Who knows if he's healthy? He's probably he's gonna be our number two guy. He's gonna be in the slot. Odell Beckham and him will share the slot. Then we're gonna be moving on to Sterling Shepard, and this is the only problem I have, guys. I mean, we don't have a receiver over 6'1" or receiver over 6 foot at like our top receivers. We've got Odell Beckham, who's 5'11", Victor Cruz, who's 6 foot flat, and Sterling Shepard, who is 5'10". And we have Dwyane Harris. I mean, I think he's 5'11". Myles White, I don't know. I think he's small too. Geremy Davis is like 6'2" or something like that, but he's not a good receiver, and we don't have anybody. So we need one of these undrafted rookies to stand up and become that possession receiver that Ruben Randall was. I mean, like it or not, I know most of you didn't like Ruben Randall. I did. I know he was inconsistent, but he filled in a role, a possession receiver role. The big boy receiver role. So that's something we need right now, and I think I have my eyes set on somebody right now. So. Yeah, moving down to Sterling Shepard, our second round draft pick. I'm looking forward to see what he's gonna do. I really don't know what they're gonna do here. Say if they come in a three wide receiver set, who are they gonna line up on the outside? Who are they gonna line up in the slot? How are they gonna mix that kind of thing up? I think it's gonna be, you know, um, it's gonna be a pattern or like whatever. They're gonna switch it up a lot. You'll see Victor Cruz and Odell on the outside and Sterling Shepard in the slot, or maybe you see Sterling outside and Victor Cruz in the slot, or Odell in the slot, so on and so forth. So I don't know how they're gonna make that work. But then fourth wide receiver. Dwyane Harris, I'm excited to see what he's gonna put out there. He's gonna be competing with a lot of other players for that wide receiver role. Otherwise, he's just going to be used as a kick returner or a punt returner. And the Giants promised him an opportunity to show his receiving skills. He did that last year, but I fear that he's not going to, I guess, cooperate with us as much as if he doesn't get as much reps at the wide receiver position because he was promised that. So I hope he gets some opportunities. He showed his worth, and he did very well filling in for us. Moving on to Myles White, he did all right for us. I don't think we should keep him, in my opinion. He's not. I mean, he's made some great catches with us and with Green Bay in the preseason, but I mean, I don't know. He's not the kind of guy we need. He's another small guy. That's not what we need right now. He's one of these guys that catches a lot of screens and stuff like that, or burns you down the field. He's not a good route runner or anything like that. So. Yeah, I say we let Myles Jack go. Moving on to Geremy Davis. I still don't know the reason why we got this guy. The Giants media were referring to him as being more of a gunner on special teams than a receiver for us. I don't think I ever saw Geremy Davis take a gunner snap ever. So don't know what they were doing with him there. He barely even played, actually. Last year's draft class was so retarded. He wasn't even projected to be drafted, this guy, and he was drafted in the 6th round nonetheless. So, moving on to Donte. Oh, by the way, let go of Geremy Davis. He won't make the team. Moving on to Donte Foster, and this is where it gets interesting, guys. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, well, 7 receivers that are all fighting for this what is it, fifth wide receiver spot or six. They might keep six. I just heard from the Giants media today, actually. They just did something on Giants.com saying Paul Dottino was saying something like they might keep six because all of this talent we have at wide receiver. And I'm all for it, in my opinion. Let's keep six because there are so many wide receivers out here that we could take up. And we'll start off with Donte Foster out of Ohio. He's not a good route runner. He barely runs routes at all. He kind of just runs up the field and so on, and runs curls and stuff like that. But he's a big body receiver we can use. I really don't see us using him as much because he doesn't run as many routes and stuff like that. We don't run that kind of offense that you just run up the field and hope to catch the ball. So, but he's gonna fight for a spot. I'm waiting to see what happens with him. Tavarres King out of Georgia. He's not a rookie. He's not an undrafted free agent, but he's been in the league a couple of times. He was on the Broncos for a majority of his career. I think all of his career, besides last year being on the practice squad with us. But he was out of Georgia. I saw his Georgia highlights, and highlights and tape because I like to watch both. So his tape looked pretty good. His highlights look outstanding, but then again, you just can't go after highlights. But for what I could tell, he can catch the ball pretty well. I'm not expecting him to catch everything. I know there's going to be a few drops in his tape that you're going to have to move away to the side because it's not like we're watching somebody that's projected to be like a first-round pick or projected to be a number one receiver. That's not what you're looking at. So remember, guys, when you're looking at the tape of all these receivers that are basically no names, people that weren't drafted or drafted late or barely had a career and just trying to fight to make a team, you have to look at everything, but do not think this guy's going to be your number one wide receiver. Do not think because he can't run a certain route or run routes at all, or maybe he's not strong enough against the press, or maybe he's extremely slow, or maybe he drops a few passes. That's not what these scouts are looking at, and that's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at, first of all, can he play special teams? Because Donte Foster looked like he can. He can run block quite a bit, and it looks like he has an interest into doing that. So you have to factor all that in. So can he play special teams? Can he use his opportunities to his advantage? You're not looking for him to take the majority of the snaps. None of that. You're looking at him. If you need him real quick, maybe it's third down and 2. You have him on the field. He runs a quick a drive route or a shallow cross, and he catches the ball for a first down. Can he do that kind of stuff? That's kind of stuff you're looking for in a fifth or sixth wide receiver. Am I right? So, yeah, Tavarres King, I like him. He's going to be competing with the rest for a fifth or sixth wide receiver spot. Moving on to Darius Powe. Now, he is very intriguing to me. It's going to be between him and another two other wide receivers that I'm going to mention. But Darius Powe, I really like this guy a lot. I mean, I think he had, I can't remember. I think I may be talking about somebody else. No, I think it's him. He had like 1,500 yards for the Golden Bears with Jared Goff passing him the ball. So I guess you can kind of get an outlook at how productive he can be. I mean, you see what he put there on the field. Watch his tape. I'm talking about watch his tape. Don't watch his highlights only. Just watch his tape, and you'll be impressed that he wasn't even drafted. So not much to say about that. I'm not gonna have much to say because not I'm going to like in depth everything about them. Like, that's not what it is. I'm just going by what I think of them. Moving on to Roger Lewis, who's probably impressed me as equally as Darius Powe, whatever. They're both big receivers. They both can catch the ball pretty well. They both can run, a short route and catch the ball, intermediate route and catch the ball, a long pass and catch the ball. I mean, they can go anywhere. Their route running is not very good, but you know what? That like I said, he's gonna be fine if he just, we use him for a couple plays here and there. All right, moving on to Kadron Boone out of LSU. He hasn't done much of anything in his collegiate career, so he's not going to make the roster. I actually couldn't find anything on him. I think I saw one catch of his on YouTube, and that was it. But yeah, he hasn't done much of anything. Anthony Dablé out of the France NFL, or what is it, FNL? I don't know, but no, FFL. I don't know, but this guy is like everything you want in physical attributes he has. I mean, he's what, 6'4", I believe, and runs a 4.4140. That is very impressive. That is very impressive. But can he do, what his frame and speed, says he can do? And that's going to be put to the test. And it's between Darius Powe, Roger Lewis, and Anthony Dablé, in my opinion. Then we're moving on to KJ Maye, who is intriguing to me. He's not a big receiver, no, but we can use him. He did, as I was going through his tape, he did actually match up with Eli Apple and actually did pretty well with him. And the fact that this guy didn't get drafted either tells you that he should have got drafted or tells you that Eli Apple is a scrub. And I don't know which one I should believe, but I hope Eli Apple is not a scrub. But he allowed a touchdown on KJ Maye. KJ Maye ran a nice comeback route right into the end zone, caught the ball, and also caught another catch on Eli Apple. So, yeah. And then we have Marcus Harris. I actually don't know if this guy's still on the roster. I actually don't think he's on the roster, but it was on OurLads.com, and they're pretty, dependable. So, is he on the roster? Is he not? I don't know. I keep checking everywhere, and some say that he is, some say he's not. So, we'll see. This guy has so much injury problem. They call him Soup, and his freaking bones are made of soup. I mean, they're extremely fragile. So he got noodle legs. So that's it with wide receivers. If I have to make a depth chart, I'm gonna make a depth chart right now. Wide receiver 1, Odell Beckham Jr. Wide receiver 2, Victor Cruz. Wide receiver 3, Sterling Shepard. Wide receiver 4, Dwyane Harris. Wide receiver 5, I'll go with Darius Powe. And wide receiver 6, I'll go with Anthony Dablé. So, I mean, I like Anthony Dablé. Like, I like what he did for the, I don't know, France Football League, whatever. But I like what he did there. But I don't know. I'm actually having second thoughts with him and Roger Lewis. So, you know what? Take out Anthony Dablé. He had a good run. Go back to France. Roger Lewis, welcome aboard. I mean, he's another big body receiver we can use. Anthony Dablé has a lot to prove. I'm not gonna base everything that I see, as a testament as what he can do in the NFL, because it is the French Football League. It's extremely low talent. So, I mean, if these guys were good, they'll be in the NFL. Honestly, I mean, scouts are everywhere in these days. So, we'll see what happens with him. He has a lot to prove. But yeah, the wide receivers, man, looking good at wide receiver. That's all I got for you guys today. Monday, I will be back with tight ends and possibly the O-line. It depends if I can fit it into a video. I really don't like making long videos, but yeah. So yeah, Monday I'll be back with tight ends. See you guys Monday.